Welcome to LexTalk, World's talk show presented by Telecommunication. Today, we have Ms. Sharifah, Thaherah, Alasree with us. Sharifah is with Infobip as the Chief Regional Counsel or Head of Legal for APAC and India region, having more than 80 countries, or precisely 80 countries under her helm, focusing on all legal, regulatory, and corporate secretarial matters. With 19 years, or I would say close to 2 decades of experience of working with multinational, private, public, and government-linked companies across various industries, we have a lot to discuss and learn from her. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the lady herself. Hello, Sharifah. How are you doing? And welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm good. I'm good so far. Just a bit of having a
Good to
cold,
hear.
so please bear with me.
Oh, I mean, I guess everyone is going through that, just changing weathers. But welcome
Yeah.
to the show, and thank you very much for getting some time out of your busy schedule. We're really honored to have you. And with that note, I I tried, my level best to set up a context while mentioning about you. So let's start with our most interesting question of the show, which is understanding the complexity or a legal complex issue that someone worked upon. So the question actually is, if you can tell us about a complex legal issue you worked upon, or an interesting one, and describe the complexity around it, and tell us how you really approached it.
Okay, I mean, that's a good question. Yeah. So, as you know, I mean, having to have a wide range of experience throughout various industries. So currently I'm with Infobip, which is a cloud solution provider industry. So the complexities are very different. But when I was even in the oil and gas industry, or even the telecommunication or waste management, so the legal complexity, I would say, is dealing, particularly is the in-house team, which is the stakeholders. Internal stakeholders is the one. And I think everyone would have this issue in any in-house counsel would have. Yeah, so the legal complexity is because making them understanding about the law, understanding about the issues or the subject matter of the legal complexity itself, and understanding of the regulatory. So making them understand is the fundamental of how you want to approach things, because at the end of the day, every industry, every companies face a lot of challenges. Yeah, and it's very different between in-house and also as in a legal firm. So if you wanted to ask me about what is the most challenging or the most complex matter, it's a lot. It's a lot, but I'm just giving a scenario. Is like in dealing, it's not even legal. It's about people, yeah, and making them understand about the law, making them understand about the regulatory standards. And that's very complex.
If I may ask, what's easy to work in? I mean, which part of organizations easy to work in? I mean, when I say part of organization, I really mean by the nature of organization, multinational, private, public, or government. Out of these four, how would you rank them based on
Wow,
the?
wow.
I mean, how easy it's for you?
Okay. Again, every companies has its own challenge. When I started with the in-house, it started with just a non-MNC, or it's just a private limited company, and then seconded to an MNC company, then moved back to a PLC, then went up to GLC, then went to MNC, and then came back with an MNC who's going to go for IPO. So it is a very different industry altogether. I mean, I wouldn't say sectors altogether. Challenges are very. And I would say that as a government-linked company, the challenges is, of course, to the government, because they are our boss in a way or another. When it comes to the multinational company, it's the cross-border transaction. And in order to make sure, because when you have an MNC, the only particular thing that people tend to forget, it's not only about the transactional documentations, but also it links back to the corporate finance. It's because it takes two to tango when you do a cross-border transaction. The regulatory, the finance of the VAT, and how you apply the tax, you learn along the way. And a PLC, a public listed company, you are responsible towards your shareholder. So altogether, I would say I can't choose. If I would say the most simple, of course, it's private limited. Yeah, but do you want me to go back to a private limited company? No, I wouldn't, because you've gone through, but you might never know. Yeah, maybe it's your own. You don't know. Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to put it. And being in the telecommunication and multimedia and technology industry, that's an organizational question, basically. How do you see your company evolving in this digital era, and how can your company help support the digital agenda in most countries globally?
Okay, I mean, well, digital world right now is the most important one in a way or another. So everything that we do at Infobip centers around building meaningful connection. Yeah, so our cloud communication platform is the largest of its kind, and it reaches almost 70% of the world population in a way. And if you read up, and if you notice about Infobip, it's not really as a giant yet, but we are a unicorn in Croatia, even though it's actually a UK company. And as the world most communicated cloud communication platform, the thing is that how we democratize the global communication to enable the business to transform and innovate and the digital solution. So it is pretty much a lot that we grew from the digital space, and this makes it easier for us to kind of because our technology itself is designed to reduce that point of friction and empowers the company to forge stronger relationship with the customer. So this makes it a bit more to acquire new and retain existing customers, which increases the customer lifetime value. And as the core digitalization for many of our customers, the shaping of the future of digital interactions between the business and the people are as the heart of this digitalization wave, because it's like a wave right now. Everyone wants to be in the digital space, and I think thanks to pandemic, so that continues with us in creating a lot more of innovations and implementing and how we forefront it in the future. So I really hope I answered that question. It's interesting actually in a way, and how we evolve for the last 16 years being in the
I mean, that's
industry.
right. Ironically, pandemic brought a lot of positive disruptions as well. One of which is legal tech, and my
Yes.
next question was sort of related to that. I mean,
Okay.
having close to 20 years of experience, you've seen a
Mm-hmm.
lot, come and go. But I guess the legal tech is here to stay. So, in the era of legal technology, we are sort of in the middle of it. Finally, the Asian countries are in the middle of it.
Yep.
What are the most commonly tools
Tools.
used for you to make the task go easy?
Okay. 20 years ago, it is all about manual. If you, I mean, I think when you get to see each other physically, you can see my crooked hand because of writing and all of that. So everything was a lot more of manual, especially if you are a corporate secretary, company secretary. Yeah. So it evolves a long time as well. So from just, we used to use fax to send documentations. What is fax now? So there's none. So it's now going back to online. So the way how things are evolved to the legal tool that we're using, Jira, yeah, Salesforce, even then, CRM tools, those are the things that we use now. Legatics, we use it. Yeah, so it helps us not only, I know Salesforce is more of from a business side. However, from a legal side, it helps because of the record management, and it helps us in building that relationship. Remember, you asked me that question, the first one about legal complexity, about dealing with the internal holder, right? So the Salesforce actually helps it. Yeah, because we are transparent in the tool that we use, so they are aware about what is happening. We are very transparent in how you want to deal in closing that opportunity. So the Salesforce, even though it's more built for business, it kinds of help legal in a way. So yeah, so we are being using Infobip is using a lot of these tools to help record management, to help in business integration, yeah, and even from a corporate secretarial matters as well.
I mean, that's right. Uh, and also because our there are a lot of viewers that are called young. I mean, everyone is young by heart,
Still
but
young.
I'm talking about the age. So and time management is sort of one of the major issue that everybody goes on. And they say time is money in any profession,
Yeah.
but in legal it's most of all, and everybody has to understand, especially the newcomers. So
Yeah.
having your example for them, how do you ensure to make the best of your time as a lawyer or as an in-house lawyer?
Okay, another good question is because sometimes people have this thing on their mind that you as a lawyer, we will always have to work after hours, which is true. Yeah, no doubt that that happens is because sometimes issues just come along the way. So it varies from the position that you hold. So if you're a manager, the responsibility that you have is actually more. But the way how I can answer that question is about time management, and there is no easy answer to it. No one, I wouldn't be able to say that what I use would be similar to you, because we come from a different environment. We come from a different because what you have at home also affects in how you want to kind of time manage yourself as becoming a lawyer or even an in-house lawyer. Yeah, because you've got to have this thing about, and I think the world is going, and thanks to pandemic, about a lot more of flexibility about work time and work-life balance. So previously, yeah, it's after hours, 2-3 o'clock in the morning is just an understatement. Yeah, but right now it's how you manage it with what you have, and also being smart in using the answer that, as the tools that is being given. It simplifies that process. Yeah, so you got to use that tools that has been, and it's because how we want to proceed further in digital, and always learn and how you have other skills. Yeah, and importantly, time management. Time is value, true enough, but you got to manage it well and be smart.
Is there
Use
any other
whatever is in
advice you
front of
want
you.
to give? Is there any other advice you want to give to the young professionals who want to make good in the industry?
Perseverance. Nothing comes easy. Yeah, so perseverance is one thing, and I always tell my team members and even others, don't become like a SpongeBob, but don't literally be like him. Yeah, so it's more of like a SpongeBob. You have to absorb as much of experience regardless. So all of us, we come from the same legal fraternity. We have all the same education, have the same fundamental. Maybe the laws could be very different, but the framework, the guide is, everything is the same. But what makes us a different is the experience that you gain along the way. And the only way that you can do so is to gain as much as experience. Don't be too fast, too furious, and persevere, and you will be okay.
Oh, that's a nice way to put it, Sharifah. Thank you for that. My last question
Give
to
it last
you
already.
for today's it's actually about again the organization.
Okay.
Very curious about the organization and what's your role in terms of taking it further. So the question actually says is, where do you see your company in the future? And being an in-house counsel, how can you
Mhm.
see yourself assisting towards the company's goals and agendas?
Okay, for Infobip itself, right? So today we connect people, business, and Internet of Things, IoT. So on a truly global scale, and see this being no difference for us in the future, to be honest. But of course, we have the tagline of we're just starting, even though we've been like 16 years, close to about 16 years in the industry, and we have expanded to 70 over offices across 6 continents. When we built technology with the capacity to reach 7 billion. So mobile devices and things in 190 countries. So I'm just giving these things. It's not because I want to kind of promote Infobip in a way or another, but of course, to kind of tell people that we know that we achieve our best outcomes to connect. And the partnerships that we forge with a lot of partners that you can see. And our long-term success is deeply connected to the world around us. It's why we collaborate with one of our core, in a way, our core company values. It is about teamwork, it's about empathy, and it's about connection. That will be a key in us reaching out our next strategic milestone. And how, as an in-house, the main goal is actually for us to make sure that we go back to the core company values. Yeah. So how I teach my team is that we always have to be humble. Humbleness is also another thing of Infobip's value. Humbleness, and always to see and how we want to kind of help become the trusted business partner, the trusted legal business partner. Yeah, so not many people actually use this because people always see that legal is always at the back end. We're not going to be the frontliners. But don't we know that the one that is connecting, the one that closes that opportunity is a legal document. And who reads that? It's actually legal team. So we kind of have to be the one also helping to learn that, trying to get the team to understand, to have that business acumen in them. And especially for in-house, without you knowing about the business, it's hard for you to help the company to kind of close an opportunity or even for any M&As or anything that comes. So that is how it is for Infobip and also how I see the legal department here in Infobip and also the team.
He recently heard about this argument from a very senior lawyer, again, like yourself, that he was also in-house counsel. He mentioned and tried and sort of made me and my viewers understand, and our viewers understand that lawyers are also now part of the revenue generation team. If not in a direct manner, but indirect manner. If they are not there, they are also part of that backbone that we always talk about of an organization. So,
They
thank you
are
very much for now.
important.
I mean, and thank you very much for sort of ending the session with such a beautiful note. I have now there are so many thoughts coming in my mind, and I guess we can discuss on that. But I always understand that lawyers are always busy, and I don't eat their time for the session. But I always promise our viewers that we will have them again. So that's the same thing I'm going to do. And we're going to have
Sure,
this word from you that you will be joining us again in the future to
sure, for
discuss on some
sure.
other trending topics in the international legal industry.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We'd love to give back something to the society and also particularly to the young lawyers that is going to be emerging. And we have to always have successor. It's because life is always a cycle. There will be a time that you got to retire, but what we have is the experience that we want to give back, and it's time to give back.
And
A
I guess
small
our
thing.
viewers can also, I mean, our participants can also see you joining the conference in November.
Yes, I will be there in Singapore in next, I would say, plus minus another 24 days or 23 days.
Yeah, 22, 23 days. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
So, right, as people who want to meet and greet and learn more about Alasree, you can join us in the conference. And thank you very much for joining us for this session, Sharifah. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure having this talk with you.
Thank
And
you.
for our viewers, if you like this chat with Sharifah, I want you to like this video, share this video, and click on that red button to subscribe to Click Away Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do, and you have more coming in from legal industry leaders. This was Sagar for Let's Talk World signing off.